control.
Claire?
I know it doesn't make any sense.
Outlander Season 8 is officially wrapped up on Starz, and while it has been promoted as the final season, a lot of fans aren't completely convinced that this is where the story has to end. Ever since Claire Fraser, played by Katrina Balfe, first stepped through the standing stones back in 2014 and met Jamie Fraser, played by Sam Heughan, viewers have followed an emotional journey that stretched across different countries, wars, generations, and even centuries. Over the years, the series adapted Diana Gabaldon's novels while building one of television's most passionate fan communities. Now that the finale has aired, many people are asking the same question: is this really goodbye? Or could there still be another chapter waiting down the road, or should I say, a Season 9? The ending has sparked a lot of discussion because it didn't completely shut the door on the Fraser family. Instead of wrapping up every storyline in a neat little package, the finale left enough unanswered questions to keep fans talking. Although Season 8 brought the main story to a stopping point, it also reminded viewers that this world is much bigger than just one ending. Because of that, plenty of people believe the Outlander universe still has more stories to tell. That feeling has become even stronger because Starz already expanded the franchise with the prequel series Outlander: Blood of My Blood. The fact that the network invested in another show set in the same universe proves there is still interest in these characters and their history. It also shows that Outlander isn't simply disappearing after 8 seasons. Instead, the world Diana Gabaldon created is continuing to grow, so it isn't difficult to imagine more stories eventually making their way to television. One of the biggest questions on everyone's mind is whether Outlander could return for a 9th season. At the moment, Starz hasn't announced any official plans for Season 9. The network has consistently referred to Season 8 as the final season of the original series, so there isn't a renewal to talk about right now. But that doesn't automatically mean the story is finished forever. Television history is full of shows that came back after being labeled as finished, especially when there was still strong fan support and more source material available. That possibility becomes even more interesting because the creative team hasn't completely ruled anything out. Showrunner Matthew B. Roberts has made it clear that although Season 8 serves as the ending for now, he isn't closing the door on the franchise forever. That kind of comment naturally gives fans hope. It doesn't guarantee another season, of course, but it does suggest that the people behind the series are open to exploring more stories if the opportunity comes along. The ending itself also helps keep those hopes alive. Instead of giving viewers a completely definitive conclusion, Jamie and Claire's story finishes in a way that leaves room for interpretation. Some mysteries remain unresolved, and several emotional moments invite audiences to imagine what happens next. The finale wasn't designed to erase every possibility, so it creates the perfect foundation if the creators ever decide to continue the story. Season 9 wouldn't need to invent a reason to exist, because the finale already leaves enough space for another chapter. Another reason many fans remain optimistic is because Diana Gabaldon's book series isn't actually finished yet. The television adaptation has reached its conclusion before the release of her next novel, A Blessing for a Warrior Going Out. That means there is still official story material on the horizon. Once the new book arrives, it could provide plenty of fresh ideas for another television season or even a special event series. The source material is still expanding, so the television universe has a natural path forward if everyone decides to revisit it. That upcoming novel could answer some of the same questions viewers have after watching the finale. It may continue Jamie and Claire's journey while exploring the consequences of the ending. If that happens, adapting those events for television would make a lot of sense. Outlander has always relied on Gabaldon's books for inspiration, so another novel gives the franchise a valuable opportunity to continue without feeling forced. Of course, any return would depend on several factors, including scheduling, production plans, and whether the cast wants to come back. But the good news is that there doesn't appear to be any major obstacle from a storytelling perspective. The ending leaves room for more adventures, the books are continuing, and the creative team hasn't completely dismissed the possibility. Those are all encouraging signs for anyone hoping Season 9 eventually becomes a reality. The cast would also be one of the biggest reasons a continuation could work so well. Sam Heughan and Katrina Balfe remain the heart of the franchise because Jamie and Claire's relationship has always been the emotional center of Outlander. Their chemistry helped turn the series into a global success, and fans would undoubtedly love to see them share the screen again if another season were announced. But it wouldn't just be about Jamie and Claire. One of Outlander's greatest strengths has always been its supporting characters. Sophie Skelton's Brianna and Richard Rankin's Roger became just as important over the years because their own journey connected different generations of the Fraser family. Their stories still have room to grow, so another season could continue following their lives while also exploring how future events affect the entire family. There are also several other familiar faces who could easily return. John Bell, Izzy Melky Small, David Barry, Charles Vandervaart, and a bunch of other fan favorites all remain connected to the larger story. Since many of their characters survive the finale and still have meaningful relationships with the Fraser family, bringing them back wouldn't feel unusual at all. Instead, it would simply continue the world viewers have spent years investing in. Outlander has always balanced romance, historical drama, adventure, and family relationships, so another season would have plenty of directions it could explore. It could focus on unanswered mysteries from the finale, adapt new material from Gabaldon's upcoming novel, or even tell original stories that fit naturally between existing events. There are several possibilities available, so the writers wouldn't be starting from scratch. The franchise also benefits from having an incredibly loyal audience. Even after 8 seasons, fans continue discussing theories, favorite moments, and future possibilities online. That level of enthusiasm matters because networks often pay attention when viewers remain engaged long after a finale airs. Strong fan support has helped revive many television shows over the years, so Outlander certainly has an audience that would welcome another installment. The success of Blood of My Blood could also play an important role. If the prequel performs well, it demonstrates that viewers are still interested in spending time inside this universe. That kind of momentum often encourages networks to explore additional projects. Although the prequel tells a different story, its popularity could make continuing Jamie and Claire's story an even more attractive idea in the future. Some fans have wondered whether a continuation would come as Season 9, a limited series, or perhaps even a movie. Right now, nobody knows which format would be chosen if the franchise returns, but the important thing is that several options exist. Television has changed quite a bit over the past few years, so bringing back beloved characters doesn't always require a traditional full season anymore. Although nothing has been officially confirmed, the overall situation feels surprisingly hopeful. The finale intentionally leaves room for interpretation. Another book is still on the way, the cast remains closely associated with their characters, and the showrunner has expressed interest in keeping the franchise alive if the opportunity presents itself. Those pieces together paint a much more optimistic picture than a completely closed ending would have. For now, Season 8 serves as the conclusion of the original series, and fans can celebrate everything Outlander accomplished during its remarkable run. But because there are still unanswered questions, ongoing source material, and an expanding television universe, Season 9 remains a genuine possibility rather than an impossible dream. It may not happen immediately, and there may not be an announcement anytime soon, but there are plenty of reasons to stay positive. Until Starz makes its next move, viewers can continue enjoying the existing episodes while keeping an eye on future updates. If the franchise eventually returns, it already has the perfect foundation to build another unforgettable chapter. Well, that's it for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe because we'll be covering more updates on this soon. We'll see you next time.